mud up to our knees. The road is a mess. Any regular driver would lose their mind here right away, but the beast roars. Nothing silly can scare us. We're about to drive through. Hang on tight, kids. The massive wheels are just like giant barrels, bouncing over every single bump. It even floats if needed and easily climbs steep hills. The pedal whines loudly, but it just keeps going and going, while all the others are losing their axles. The entire setup is quite straightforward. The engine is from a Kalina, and the steering wheel is from a moped. There is absolutely nothing fancy about it. Here, the suspension is just right. The leaf springs are a bit of a mystery, and the whole body is covered in scars. But the wheels won't lie. They're like barrels rolling over bumps. It floats. Whenever it is necessary, it climbs up steep hills, the pedal makes a whining sound, but it just keeps going forward.
While some vehicles successfully navigate this difficult terrain, many other participants are unfortunately suffering from severe mechanical breakdowns, where their structural axles are being completely torn away from their frames.
Well, I got in. This is Potapytsch, which means I'm Masha on the beer. How do you overcome the feeling that we're all going to drown? And I also keep feeling like I'm just going to tip over sideways any second now. And that's it. In peacetime, the engine that's in here could get the car up to 160. Well, let's be honest. Every man, every real man, wants to build a car or some ridiculous self-propelled cart with his own hands. Just so it moves and you can be proud of yourself. Many want to, but only a few actually do it. Mother Russia. Ooh, how rich she is in homegrown inventors. Even though Ivan Petrovich Kulibin himself is the creator and most famous of the self-taught inventors, just think how many unknown, humble builders of the strange and bringers of their own ideas to life there are. Hundreds, but not thousands. I found a homemade marvel and just couldn't resist. And you know, I could do this too. I'm fooling myself. You, all of you. But I could have. All I need is some funding, just a bit of money. See, I'm already making excuses. But here, all it took was the desire, our tired old car. But let's take it one step at a time. This vehicle is called Potapytsch, and the name suits it. After all, it's not for glamorous girls in expensive gear with attitude, tearing up other people's roads and leaving mountains of trash behind. Potapytsch just goes, he climbs, crawls, swims, and he does it all with a face full of confidence in himself and his power. There's no gloss, just scars and scuffs. The idea of building a non-epic quad bike isn't new. Here in Russia, there are definitely a few manufacturers who make something similar. A machine for those who want to sit like on a quad, but a quad just isn't enough anymore, neither in terms of off-road capability nor, well, I don't know why I'm talking about quads, to be honest. I don't really know much about them. Potapytsch was born in a garage under a stern gaze, through a welding helmet, to the sounds of an angle grinder and swearing. The frame is X-shaped, welded together from pieces cut on a laser machine. In some ways, the all-terrain vehicle reminds me of our Lynx. We copied it as best we could, just scaled it up for the task. But again, that's not certain. And the task was to collect and assemble domestic components that would never meet in everyday real life, and make them work together. Yes, so that everything would come together nicely. although making domestic components come together nicely is very difficult. But here, everything worked out. The axles are from a UAZ 469, which makes perfect sense. Designed for tough rural life, forced to haul a lot of weight through mud. But here, they're on a light vehicle, covered with aluminum sheets. The axles feel like they're on vacation, even though the vehicle itself isn't small in terms of size. The length is 3.5 meters. The height is 1.7 meters, about the height of an average villager. And the width with the wheels is 2,252 millimeters. The axle mounting is a marvel. To start with, these are gazelle leaf springs, cut in half. The central leaf has eyes, mounting loops. Here, on this side, they're attached through silent blacks. On the other side, they're mounted using the original brackets. Underneath, by the way, there are 1.5, well, let's say 2, leaves. This results in quarter elliptical springs. The Willys and the Gas 67 have the same setup, only theirs are more robust. Moving on. The other ends of the springs are clamped tightly in the frame mounts. The same arrangement can be seen on the front axle. But there, as we know, there are also steering knuckles from a UAZ. It all seems simple, but someone had to come up with it. Although now, some smart experts will pop up and explain everything. Who borrowed ideas from where and whom. Now, about the engine. It's from a Lada Kalina, which, as the joke goes, won't run without kerosene, or rather a Vaz 1117. And here's a thought that crossed my mind. The Kalina is the last worthy creation from Afto Vaz. Throw stones at me if you want, I don't mind. It has a 1.6-liter engine and let's say about 80 horsepower. Torque is 120 newton meters. 4 cylinders, 8 valves. But what interests us is the weight, and it's 112 kilos. And under the cover, there's also the gearbox. It's the same 5-speed one, and it weighs over 30 kilos. So these 150 kilograms are honestly placed right in the middle of the base, which has a positive effect on weight distribution. The engine is mounted longitudinally, not transversely. Why? Noble Doms? The answer is simple. The gearbox has 2 CV joints, right? So each CV joint is essentially a drive shaft, that is, a propeller shaft. I remember back in the mid-90s, I filmed an inventor who placed the engine in the middle of an all-terrain vehicle this way, and could make a machine with many driven wheels. In short, the idea isn't new, but it's elegant. Next, one CV joint connects to the Niva transfer case. Is that for us? And from the transfer case, the drives go to the UAZ axles. You can also see more Niva components on the front bulwark. The Vaz axle, or rather a cut-down part with the differential, spins the winch drum. The drives come from the CV joint. How much weight can it pull? I don't know. They say it's always enough. The differential in the gearbox is welded, so the CV joint for the winch drive is always spinning, and to engage it, you need to lock it. The interior, Spartan austerity, no frills at all. Covers, aluminum, riveted, a couple of toggle switches on the steering wheel for high and low beams and turn signals. The instrument panel goes up to 200 kilometers per hour. On the left, the transfer case levers. On the right, the gear shift lever. Everything is arranged very cleverly and compactly. The only heating is your own body warmth. The only music is humming to yourself. Lavender. Controls. Everything is grouped on the steering wheel. It's intuitive. Magnificent. It's also worth mentioning the wheels. Giant Treco tires, ultra-low pressure tires for all-terrain and snow and swamp vehicles. Treco is our domestic company. The main feature of these tires is the ultra-low internal pressure from 0.1 to 0.6 kilopascals. The rubber sort of hugs the bumps and doesn't get damaged. The gearbox is positioned on its side, so here's neutral. Shifting into first gear to the right, moving into second to the left, and I don't need anything beyond that. Let's start it up. was a comforting and recognizable melody, a pleasant, familiar sound that resonated softly through the quiet air. I thought turning would be a problem, but there's an MTZ distributor connected through a VAS pump. So basically you can steer and turn calmly, but the maneuverability is so subtle. You know, it does turn though, and thank God for that. Technical specifications. Top speed? I don't know. If you drive fast, you could literally bounce off to the side with these balls instead of wheels. They say it could hit 100 in theory, but I've never met anyone who's actually accelerated it that much. Fuel consumption? Also no idea. In general, a full tank is enough to get from home to Teteushi and back. And if you're not sure, just throw a couple of jerry cans in the trunk and off you go. Now, just imagine, you're sitting astride, holding onto motorcycle handlebars, with a Kalina engine between your legs, UAZ axles under your butt, and a river crossing ahead of you. And you don't even worry, because this thing can float just fine. It really does float, thanks to its low specific weight, the proper placement of the axles, and those big paddle-like wheels. So, Potapytsch isn't just an all-terrain vehicle, it's also a boat. And when you're riding this marvel, crawling out of the muddy water, spinning around in a tight spot between stumps, and diving back into the thicket, you realize that Potapytsch isn't just a quad, it's a whole philosophy. A philosophy of, yeah, I honestly don't care what's up ahead. Maybe I'm wrong, but I actually feel really comfortable here. It's stable, predictable, and steers just right. I know there's still plenty of horsepower in reserve. As for the reliability of our machines, I don't even think about it at this point. But they say they're built to last forever. And here's a thought for the road. In a world that's getting smarter, more flexible, and more electrified, Potapytsch remains a bastion of mechanical charisma. He doesn't connect to Wi-Fi, he connects to the swamp. He doesn't count his steps, he takes them. And really, he's not for those who pick their route by GPS. He's for those who blaze their own trails. I've walked so much, I could really go for some vodka now. Now I'll park my horse by the banyan, and tomorrow the hunt will definitely continue. Godspeed.